ran it for 3.5 years. It's very difficult to verify gold. So the fall of the Roman Empire, if you go back in history, you'll always see that the fall of any empire is directly correlated to the money breaking. The Romans started taking metals that were not gold and melting it up into the gold. So that's why the term sound money comes from.
Today on Masterminds, we sit with Stafford Massey, one of Africa's most influential tech thinkers, former Google South Africa CEO, groundbreaking entrepreneur, and the mind behind one of the world's most widely used payment innovations. Can you explain Bitcoin to me like I know nothing about it?
80% of the US dollars in circulation today was printed in the last 5 years.
Interesting.
People say my groceries are getting more expensive. No, your groceries aren't getting more expensive. Your money is getting weaker. So the dollar is broken. Okay? The South African rand has lost 98% of its buying power from 1994 to 2025.
How are some people losing money?
If your money debases between 3 and 5% every year, in 5 years to 6 years, you've lost 50% of your buying power. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to not lose the value of what they have. So gold, great store of value. Problem is Gen Zs, me, I've no, like, if you take 10 million rands of gold, okay? Put it in a suitcase and try and check out the airport. Take 10 million rand of money. Money. Draw it out the bank. Try and get it. The bank won't give it to you. Try and take your 10 million rand out of a bank.
So it's not hard money.
It's not your money. It's not your bank. It's not your money. Your money is not there. So where is it? You go down that rabbit hole, you'll see your entire life is a lie. It's the craziest thing.
Because if you get cut off, because you don't own it, you don't have it. So if you just get cut off like that, your whole world changes.
That's the endemic of Africa, right? A general takes over the deeds office. Your house is no longer your house. Go to Zimbabwe. Money debasement. When I have 10 Zim dollars in the morning, and I know the loaf of bread is 10 Zim dollars. By the time I get to the shop, it's 100,000 Zim dollars.
Wow.
Well, that's inflation. That is money losing its buying power.
That's crazy inflation.
Well, you say crazy. Let's talk about inflation. In South Africa, what is like 4%, 5%? Go around the world. If your money debases between 3 and 5% every year, in 5 years to 6 years, you've lost 50% of your buying power.
And we don't realize that. You
don't realize it. It's a slow bleed. All the time. And that 2% to 5% inflation, who sets that target? How is it set? There's 12 to 20 people in the world that make up that number. They make it up. And your money in your bank account is based upon that. So why Bitcoin?
Exactly. Why? How does Bitcoin?
Because everything else around you is broken. So if you can accept that, gold is not, you can't move around with your gold. You can't verify your gold. You can't go to Starbucks with a gold bar and then take shavings off your gold bar to pay for your latte or whatever you're buying. You can't move it. It's not divisible. It's not verifiable. It's not transportable. If you accept that the hardest thing on earth that's lasted thousands of years for us is no longer relative to our life. Gen Zs don't want gold. Right? If we were horse and buggy people, maybe gold would be very.
And like you mentioned, honestly, if you put a gold bar in front of me right now, I wouldn't know how to verify it.
We'd have to cut it open or melt it down. And then you can say, okay, cool, that's about gold. So it's not applicable to the digital age. In the digital age where a business has digital value and we're trying to move information digitally, we need digital money. We need digital. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is value tied to energy. And physics. So the way the Bitcoin protocol works is it is a ledger of all the transactions copied onto nodes, decentralized across the entire world. And the entire ledger, every 10 minutes, changes. It gets appended. So all the activity for the last 10 minutes gets added onto the ledger, and that copy is replicated in a decentralized manner across the entire world. Now, every 10 minutes, something happens called proof of work. And proof of work is when you take computing power and you apply it to solve a cryptographic puzzle. And when you solve the cryptographic puzzle, the protocol rewards you every 10 minutes today with 3.1 Bitcoins.
Interesting.
So every 10 minutes, Bitcoin spits out today just over 3 Bitcoins. You get rewarded with over 3. So 3 Bitcoins today is what, like 7 million rand. So every 10 minutes, 7 million rand is issued out as a reward, a block reward to a Bitcoin miner in the world. Okay. So we call them Bitcoin miners. Bitcoin miners take computers called ASICs. These are single purpose machines built for mining Bitcoin.
Okay.
So what they do is they're trying to solve their cryptographic puzzle the entire time. So they put their hands up on a decentralized basis saying, I'll solve it.
Okay.
And whoever has the most computing power, the most efficient power, etc., cheapest power, gets to solve that puzzle, and then they get rewarded.
So when they get rewarded with the Bitcoin, this means now this Bitcoin miner has received the 3.1 Bitcoin?
So they're sitting with that Bitcoin. So they can convert that Bitcoin into fiat, gold, wherever they live. Okay. Or they can just keep adding. Now, those Bitcoin miners are decentralized. They're all over the world. They use up a lot of energy.
Okay.
So it's money tied to energy.
Okay.
And when you tie anything to energy, no government can. Energy is nature.
Yeah, it's universal.
Energy is incorruptible. Energy is beautiful. Energy is truth. Energy can't lie. Energy can't be influenced. Energy is energy, right? Power from Earth, electrons, power. And if you can coalesce that power, the computing power, that electricity power, and you combine it together and you mine Bitcoin, that's the Bitcoin network. And that's why Bitcoin is so different from anything else in the world. So the amount of computers, the amount of Bitcoin miners that secure and issue out Bitcoins in the world, we've crossed the Zeta hash mark. What that means is, if you took all the computing power of Google, Microsoft, Apple, OpenAI, you took all of those computers together and you tried to attack the Bitcoin network, you wouldn't work.
Okay.
That's how it's the most secure network that we've ever seen in the history of humanity. It's never been hacked, never been compromised. Its computing power is unrivaled. It's completely immutable. Putin can't switch it off. Putin and Xi and Trump can't switch it off. They can't do anything with it. No general in Africa, nothing can switch it off. Right? You take these properties to a Zimbabwean, they get Bitcoin like that.
Okay.
A Ghanaian, like that. A South African, like that. You take it to a USA guy, you got to explain it to him for a while. A European, you got to explain it because their currency is stronger. But so it takes them a while. You walk in El Dorado Park, you talk Bitcoin to anyone. It takes me 2 to 3 minutes. They get it.
Yeah.
What? I can move it across the world anyway. I can own it. I can put it wherever I want. No one can take it away from me.
Yeah.
It gets scarcer and scarcer and scarcer. So the value keeps going up over time. I'm in.
So
any African, I'm in.
Yeah.
We've never had that on the African continent before. We've never had pristine money. What we see is a few things change when someone starts using Bitcoin. First of all is when your money is stored and it doesn't debase, you know what happens? You get more dignity. You're proud. You see a future. You see hope.
You start to move different.
Start to act different. We're seeing that in the townships. Second thing that we see is the quality of services go up.
Okay.
Because when a merchant has to sell you something and you have perfect money, for you to impart with your perfect money, that service has got to be real high quality.
Yeah.
You stop buying Temu and Shein rubbish and you only buy qualitative things.
Yeah.
So immediately townships, the amount of waste drops. So characters change. Waste diminishes. Crime and gangsterism doesn't have a reason to exist anymore because people can focus on their hope, right?
Yeah.
Even when we were we were back then Neanderthals, in our DNA, we valued scarcity.
Yeah.
Okay. So scarcity is a commodity. Scarcity is an asset. Scarcity has value in our societies. So if you accept that and you start looking how we used feathers, spices, stones, keep going, right? Throughout our history. Cowries. Keep going. And then the metals came along. And then finally we found gold. And gold was extraordinary because gold, even though it was useless.
I say that all the time.
It's a useless metal.
Yeah.
I mean, for Gen Z, they don't care about shiny yellow metal.
Yeah.
They really don't. Right? They see no value in it. But we'll fast forward to that in a second. But gold had its value because we could take our time and energy, and gold was a reflection of the store of value of that time and energy. So whatever work you do, if you can store it or be compensated in that, So when you do anything, you a podcast interviewer, you a cameraman, you are a person that cleans this place where we're sitting right now, your time and energy is rewarded in money.
Yeah.
So through the ages, we've constantly tried to preserve that money. So we either put it in shells and buy all these other things, but gold has proven for thousands of years to be a really great store of time and energy.
Yeah.
Right? Over time. So you can take your time and your energy and you can store it in this asset. And this asset is scarce. It's verifiably scarce. It is got a stock to flow ratio of about, say, 2%. What that means is what we have on the surface.
Okay.
We can never take more than 1.8 to 2% out of the ground relative to what we have on the top of the ground.
Okay.
So the flow of relative to the stock that we have on the surface is predictable.
Okay.
So it leaks though, but gold still leaks. It leaks 2% a year.
Interesting.
Because it increments in volume 2% a year.
Every year.
So it gets 2% less scarce every year.
Okay.
Okay. So, but that for thousands of years, even though it leaked 1 to 2% a year, that stock to flow ratio was
still measurable. Yeah.
Measurable and scarce. Scarcest asset.
Yeah.
And that scarcity is how we've stored our time and energy over time. And that's been good. The problem with gold is that when, the properties of gold is heavy. It's very difficult to verify gold. So if someone says, here's a gold bar, you don't know what's inside that gold bar.
Yeah.
Then if
you
you take
gold on the outside and
exactly. That's what the Romans did.
Yeah.
So the fall of the Roman Empire, if you go back in history, you'll always see that the fall of any empire is directly correlated to the money breaking.
Yeah.
When the money breaks, the society breaks.
Yeah.
Everything breaks. Right? So in the Roman Empire, what did they do? They wanted to fight more wars. When they were on the gold standard, look what they built. They built the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at the statues. Look at the cities. Look at how they conquered the world on what? On gold.
On gold, yeah.
And they stole the gold. When they started running out of gold to fund their wars, what did they do? The Romans started taking metals that were not gold and melting it up into the gold. So that's why the term sound money comes from.
Sound money.
When someone says this is sound money, this is good money.
Yeah.
It comes from that time because people would drop the coin on the floor and they knew the difference between a gold coin.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And a coin that was hybridized. Right. But the reason the Romans did was they inflated the currency. So they made more gold without extracting it out of the earth.
Yeah.
So they increased the supply so they could pay for their wars. And what happened? That was the collapse of the Roman Empire. That started with broken money. And that usually happens is when we increase when we print more money, when we increment more money in this inauthentic way, then we break society. Now fast forward to where we are today.
Now money is based on debts.
So here's a statistic. 80% of the US dollars in circulation today, 80% of the US dollars in circulation today was printed in the last 5 years.
Interesting.
Let me say that again.
80%.
More than 80% of the US dollars in circulation today in 2025 was printed since 2020.
Since COVID.
Let me say that again. In the last 5 years, 80% of all the dollars in circulation today were printed. Wow. Printed on what fundamentals? On what basis? It was just printed.
Printed, yeah.
This happened in 1971 when Richard Nixon
was
fighting the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And he was held back, right? I'm making it real simple, but the essence of it, he was held back because the dollar was tied to gold. And what did he do? He ripped the connection between the two.
Yeah.
And he said, now the dollar is tied to
nothing.
Political stability, economic, rule of law, military might, etc. Our stability is all these like esoterical. What did he do? He took the gold and he melted the other metals into to make more. So now the Fed in the United States could go print more money.
Yeah.
Why? To fight the wars. How did they fight the war in the Middle East? They spent arguably between $9 and $12 trillion in the Middle East.
Which they printed out of.
They printed it and so now they're sitting with $38 trillion of debt. 38 trillion.
Who do they owe exactly?
So $38 trillion of debt. They keep printing it. And they're now printing $1 trillion, I think, every 6 to 9 months.
Wow.
So the dollar's broken. but it's still the world reserve currency. It's still the unit of account. It is the most liquid asset in the world. When you want to buy oil from another country, you can't buy oil with gold. You can't buy oil with rubles. You can't buy oil with yen. You can't buy oil with ZAR or the pound. The only thing in the world that has the necessary liquidity to settle those large amounts is the US dollar. So it is the global reserve currency, but the money is broken. Now, when the money is not broken, then you get like the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
When the money is not broken, you get the Renaissance. Go look at the Renaissance. You get a guy that can lay on his back and paint ceilings. You know, he can do the statue of David.
Yeah.
He can create a staircase, Leonardo da Vinci. He can dream things up because his passion and his love is rewarded because his time and energy doesn't deflate over time.
Okay.
See, the problem that you have right now is whenever, and let me just go, when in human history, when we were on hard money, on scarce money, we invent things. If you take a look at from the 1900s all the way up until 1960s, right? Take a look at the cars. We went to the moon.
Yeah.
Look at all the inventions.
Everything was new. Everything was fresh.
We were on hard money.
Yeah.
See, whenever we're on hard money, you go back to the Renaissance, hard money. You go back to the Roman Empire, hard money. Whenever there is hard money, then people's time and energy can be stored verifiably over time. And when you can do that, it changes what you do. It changes your behavior pattern. It changes. The reason we have the mental health problems that we have, the reason Africa is in the state that it's in, the reason all the social challenges that we have is not social media and all that stuff. No, it's broken money. I have Gen Zs in my house. I have a 25-year-old and a 22-year-old in my house. They're Bitcoiners. Okay. And because they're Bitcoiners, they have hope.
They have hope for the future.
They have hope because their time and energy is stored in Bitcoin. So you know what they've seen? They've seen our house where we live 4 or 5 years ago. It was worth a few thousand Bitcoin. 3 years ago, a few hundred Bitcoin. Now the house is worth 3 to 4 Bitcoins.
Interesting. So the house is losing value. While the Bitcoin is
No. Exact opposite. The house increases in value, actually. But the money is getting weaker.
I get
you. See, in their eyes, everything gets cheaper.
Yeah.
You see, when people say my groceries are getting more expensive, no, your groceries aren't getting more expensive. Your money is getting weaker. When you get that, when you see that your house may be going up in price, but the buying power over time keeps collapsing.
Yeah.
In South Africa, the South African rand has lost 98% of its buying power from 1994 to 2025.
Wow.
Let me say that again. 98% of its buying power from 1994 to 2025. So if you had put your money, your 100 rand, if you put your 100 rand in a bank in 1994, what you could spend with that money today, if you took it out the bank,
only 2 rand.
2 rand.
Interesting.
See, when your time and energy cannot be stored, you know what happens? You don't have hope. And when you don't have hope on a subconscious basis, you know what the first thing you do? You open up Shein and Temu and you buy rubbish.
Yeah.
Because you want to get rid of your money as quick as you can.
It affects you mentally.
Mentally. You get rid of your money as quick as you can. You buy things that don't matter. You invest in things that don't have certainty. You take risks because you're constantly trying to store your value.
Yeah.
The store of value in the world, art, commercial real estate, private real estate, equities. What are all those things? Those are things where wealthy people are trying to store their money over time.
Yeah.
I buy the painting because I don't want it to lose value.
Yeah.
But rich people don't have money in a bank. Rich people don't have money in the bank. They have money working. What do they mean when they say money working? It's because they're trying to preserve their time and energy over time.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to not lose the value of what they have. So, gold, great store of value. Problem is, Gen Zs, me, I've no, like, if you take 10 million rands of gold, okay? Put it in a suitcase and try and check out the airport.